At that time, I had just sold or about to sell my first restaurant. I wanted to get into a bigger restaurant. I was still very much in love with this one concept in New York City, Balthazar, and there was something a lot about it that I wanted to not just not copy per se, but I wanted to get at some of the feeling of the electricity of the people inside, and I wanted to, I think, see that together, and see New York together.
It's a great restaurant. The food's amazing. The seafood towers are legendary. It's kind of really elevated comfort food, I think, which Presidio Social Club does as well. It's a kind of curious mixture of retro, old school, and modern. It's pretty eclectic in its feel. It's loud. It's very New York, but there was a vibe there that I think Ray was probably after more than the actual look.
Definitely the vibe. Definitely the vibe. Something old. I hate to say pretend old, but we had old in the Presidio already. But there was something about connecting the two.
Yeah, the building we got was an old barracks building. It's a funky building, so precious.
Literally.
We had the bones of an old building that we were, had to now been a barracks. Now we're making a restaurant. Obviously, very different program. And so, how could we basically open up the space? How could we capture the beauty of the old building? Because it is a beautiful little, very simple building, but it had an old porch that had been enclosed at some point, and so there a lot of light looks out into the, beautiful grounds of the Presidio. And so there was a sense of history that we were trying to take advantage of. And that is, I think, is sort of similar to Balthazar because they're in a sort of older New York building. And the bones of that building are very much revealed as well.
Probably I wanted you to make sure you know that I was an urban kind of guy, and that I'm not afraid of cities because we had not really known each other that well.
That's
and then
true.
we just went out and did a lot of damage to a lot of shellfish,
Yeah, we did.
Well, we did go to the Grand Central Oyster Bar, which is probably, it might be my favorite restaurant in the world.
So I think for me, the memories of that looking back was sort of want to make sure we were aligned, like all these designs were so magnificent that I didn't even understand them yet, but I just wanted to make sure we were aligned with the stuff we did understand, which is our love for food like that, and the places that I still go back to.
To me, it's about sort of the great dishes of America. He doesn't do all of them, but all of the dishes on his menu are that. And I was trying. I think after New York, I was looking for just an anchor. I always look for a vocabulary. What am I going to start with? And I think I really started with that notion that we're doing American food. We need to honor this building. And then there are certain pieces from our trip, like the tilted mirrors at Balthazar, which were so effective, and the Carrera marble counters at Grand Central that I wanted to reinterpret. You can't do a shellfish bar if you don't have a Carrera counter. So we did that. A beautiful bar there. And to me, that just, here we have Swan's Oyster Depot, same thing. We've got Carrera marble. And it's aged and it's stained and all this stuff. And now probably after 20 years, raises too. But, to me, I was designing an American restaurant. There were a few things we did at Presidio Social Club that are kind of interesting. And I don't think, unless I explain them, you would even know it. That's not unusual in design. Often you'll do different things, and for you there's a story, but it's not so literal that people really get it. One of the things we did was this was at the very beginning of the Presidio becoming sort of what it is now, this sort of great park. And so they had just demolished Letterman Hospital. Ooh. And they had saved all these pieces of stuff out of the hospital, and they had a warehouse full of it. And we were asked, do we want anything? So okay, cool. So we'll go through it. So we walked through, and most of it, of course, was completely useless for us. But we found these really cool medicine cabinets. Essentially, they're stainless steel with glass doors, and sort of old school kind of funny things. And so we used them on the bar. That's where a lot of the liquor is stored, is in those. And so we used those there. We also we incorporated some old industrial sash that I had saved from previous projects had been demolished out of, and so we made a door to what was the private dining room out of that, and then we used a product called glue chip glass, which is this process where they spread glue on the surface of the glass and they peel it off, and it chips the face of the glass. I think the design that we did there is quite timeless. I mean, it feels just as comfortable now as it did 20 years ago. It's held up really well. I think the plan we came up with, I think moving the kitchen out into that new really worked well. And it also reduced the impact to the building, because you put a kitchen in, there's an enormous amount of infrastructure. There's all the venting, there's all the piping, there's all the just literal equipment, and then there's the heat and the grease and everything else that's really hard on an old building, and much easier if you can put it in a new building. So that, I thought, ended up working really nicely.
A lot of times I'm still the first one there in the morning, and the sun hits it a certain way. I have a bank of windows on the north side, and I'm blessed to have that. You see the light hitting some of the metal and the glass. It's pretty amazing. So, and the white marble, the Carrara marble. It's pretty nice.
It's a great bar, too.
Inspiring.
And we also discovered that we both like to sit at bars together, discuss important issues.
Like next meals.
Yeah. Where are we going next?